All right. Today is Wednesday, January the 5th. Everybody has their computers out, logged into Schoology. To get things started, what I want you to do is I want you to go log into Schoology and you're going to find your third 9 weeks. Week 1, January 4th through the 7th. Now, I want you to go into Tuesday's folder because before we begin today's assignments, we're going to review the DGP that you took yesterday as well as the ACAP bell ringer. Okay? So, I want you to open up your assignment from yesterday. Let's go ahead and start with DGP 1422. All right, start with DGP 1422. Now, your first question on the DGP, okay, was to label the parts of speech for this sentence, right? Do y'all have yours pulled up so that you can see what you answered?
No, we can't.
It won't let you view your results? Okay, hold on. Let me change that. All right, refresh your screen and see if it'll now let you view what you got wrong. Is it working? Okay, so for this sentence, I set the table at the Andersons' house on Saturday. The word I, what part of speech is the word I? Now, I want you to think about this. What point of view is I? If you're telling a story and you're using the words I, what point of view, Kamori? First person point of view. Okay, it is functioning as the subject of this sentence as well. So it's first person nominative point of view, and that is a pronoun. Okay, what is the action in this sentence? What is being done? Set. Okay, is set something that is done in the past or is it done in the present? Past. Okay, so it is an action verb, past tense. Action verb, past tense. So you should have drug. First person nominative here. You need to find action verb, past tense, and you're going to drag it up to here. Okay. Now, there are 3 words that will always be article adjectives. They're never going to change. What are those 3 words? A, and the. Okay. So the, you have it here. What part of speech is this? An article adjective. So you're going to drag up the word what? ART. Now, do you see this word in this sentence more than one time? Yes. If you see it more than one time, is it going to be the same every single time? Yes. So what do you need to do? What do you need to do? Drag ART up yet again. Okay. Now, let's look for the common nouns in this sentence. What is a common noun? What table is the common noun in the sentence, but what is a common noun? Any person, place, thing, or idea. Now, is table common or proper? Common. Okay, so a little n, you're going to drag it up. At the Andersons' house on Saturday. Okay, at. It's one of those words that you had to memorize. Preposition. So you're going to drag up the word what? PREP. Okay? Now, I told you to identify all the common nouns in the sentence, but we missed one. House. All right, now let's identify the proper nouns. We only have one, and it is Saturday. Okay. Anderson's and on. Now we have Anderson's house. Whose house is it? Anderson's. This shows possession. When something shows possession, we indicate that with an apostrophe S, right? All right. And that means that this is what type of noun? Possessive noun. Now, is it going to be a POS little n or a POS in big N? Big N. Why is it a big N? Because it is a specific person and it is a proper noun. Now, we only have one word left, and it's on. It is a preposition. Again, that was one of those things that you had to memorize. Okay? If you missed something on this, do you understand what you missed and why you got it wrong? All right? We're going to go to the next question. A direct object of the preposition, and simple subject will always be what part of speech? A noun or a pronoun? You have seen this question about 40 times. Okay, the answer is not going to change. This is memorization. True or false? A, and the will always be article adjectives. True. An imperative sentence will always contain an understood you. All right, it is true. What is the purpose of an imperative sentence? To give a what? Not to give an example. Blaze, sit up. What did I just do? I gave a statement. I did make a statement, but I also gave a command. Okay? An imperative sentence is always going to have an understood you. Even though I called Blaze by name, I'm saying, hey, you, sit up. And I'm not telling him to sit up because obviously he is sitting up. I'm just giving an example. Okay? All right. One subject, one verb, one complete thought equals what type of sentence? Simple. One, and one. It's easy. It's short. It's simple. One, and one. Easy, short, simple. All right. Two subjects, two verbs, two complete thoughts. CD. What does CD stand for? Compound. Okay. Compound means two. So you should be able to store that in your brain. A complex sentence consists of very good. One independent clause and one dependent clause. Okay? In a complex sentence, a comma is not needed after the independent clause if the independent clause comes before the dependent clause. All right, so is it independent clause, dependent clause, or is it independent clause, comma, dependent clause? How do you write this correctly? Do you need a comma after the independent clause if it comes first? No. You need a comma after a dependent clause if it comes first. So this is true. If the independent clause comes before the dependent clause, no comma is needed between the two. True. If the dependent clause comes before the independent clause, a comma is needed. True. All right, that was the end of the test. Now, should you have made a 100 on that? Yes. Okay. All right. Go back to Tuesday real quick and go to Bellringer 1422. I don't want to show everybody the grades though. All right. All right, on this, okay, it says excerpt from Norse mythology part A. All right, the question here, the first thing you need to do when you get on a test like this is you need to identify the question. What are you being asked to do? And the question here is which detail about the god Woden might the author of this passage have deleted without sacrificing essential information? Okay. What does the word sacrificing mean?
Kill.
To give up.
To kill.
To give up. Not necessarily to kill, because I might sacrifice my Diet Coke during the day to fast. Or you can sacrifice different things, okay? Reed is saying kill because I think he is talking about like people of the Bible who sacrificed their children or something for something, okay? Now, essential means that it is important, okay? So what can we give up that is not going to make a difference in this paragraph and still let us know what we need to know? All right, what can we give up in this paragraph that is not essential or vital to the paragraph? Okay, so let's read it first. Woden, who was also called Odin, was the greatest of all. His name means mighty warrior, yet he was king of all gods. He rode through the air mounted on Sleipnir, an 8-footed horse, fleeter than the eagle. If the tempest roared, the Tetrons said it was the snorting of the Sleipnir. When their ships came safely into port, they said it was Woden's breath that had filled their sails and wafted their vessels on the blue waters. Thor, a son of Woden, ranked next to him along the gods. He rode through the air in a chariot drawn by goats. Okay, some of those words are extremely difficult to pronounce. All right, which detail about the god Woden might the author of this passage have deleted without sacrificing essential information? So, what do we need to know? What? Okay. Let me fix that. All right, now you should be able to go back and view your questions. All right, what can we do without? Woden's son was Thor. Woden's breath was the wind. Woden was also known as Odin. Woden's horse had 8 feet. All right. Kamori. Huh? Yeah. You see me get all excited about that?
Woden's son was Thor. Woden's son's breath was the wind. Woden's horse had 8 legs. Yep.
All right. Which one can we do without? Woden's horse had 8 legs. So we don't need to know how many feet the horse had. Now, if the horse was missing a leg or something of that nature, would that information be important? If the horse were missing legs, would that make it important? Okay, but if we know that an animal has 4 legs, is this information essential? No. So that would be our answer. Question 2. I took this out of the bell ringer because every question was the same, so you got credit for this one. I copied and pasted it incorrectly. All right. Number 6. What is the first thing we need to do here?
Number what?
I meant number 3. I'm sorry. What is the first thing we need to do? Read the what? What is, before we even read the paragraph, what do we need to look for?
Look at the title of this page.
Excerpt from the River Thames, but we need, before we read the paragraph, we need to know what we're looking for. So what do we need to do? We need to read the question.
I said the question already.
I'm sorry, I missed that. All right, what is the most likely reason the Germans followed the Thames during their air raids? All right, the Thames was vital to the defense of Great Britain during World War II. In 1940, the German Air Force started bombing London. German pilots followed the river up into the center of the city where they dropped their bombs. The first attack destroyed almost all of the docks in London's ports and killed hundreds. The British also used the Thames to help defend their city. Okay, what is the most likely reason the Germans followed the Thames during their air raids? Okay. All right, can we find that in our paragraph?
Yes.
In 1940, the German Air Force started bombing London. Okay, so we know that they knew that Thames led to the center of London. If somebody's bombing something, would that be important?
Follow me.
Okay. Which contains a spelling error. All right, the principal, this is a person. Okay, but a principal, like a lesson, is spelled PLE. Concern for new businessmen is getting a good business plan. Startup capital is what businessmen call the money they need to get started. The hardest part of starting a business is obtaining enough money to get started. Until recently, it was difficult to start a business, but today it has become easier. What is it?
C.
What's the word that is misspelled?
Oh my gosh.
Obtaining. How should it be spelled?
OBTATNEING.
OBTAINING. All right. The answer was C. Sammy was delighted when he heard they were having blank and meatballs for dinner. Which word is correctly spelled and will best complete this sentence? Should be D. Okay. And then you should click submit. All right. Does everybody understand what you missed or why you missed it? Okay.
It was D.
All right. Now, what I want you to do, listen, is I want you to go back to week 1, January 4th through the 7th. And you are going to click on Wednesday, January the 5th. Okay, I want you to go to Bell Ringer 1522. Bell Ringer 1522.
It's not
Refresh. Oh, too many. I have worked it too hard. All right, now. Listen. Number 1, it says which era needs to be corrected in this sentence. Roseanne wasn't sure why our geometry test wasn't hard this week. Okay? What needs to be corrected? Make sure you read all of these answer choices. All right, question 2. What does the term interspersed mean as used in this sentence from the passage? You have to read the passage. I thought the dog was going to be friendly, but it ended up barking and being hostile. Hostile most nearly means you have to use your context clues there to answer those questions or to figure out what hostile means. On this last, or on the 4th one, you have to read the question first. What does the author mean when he says that Jamal put his whole heart and soul into his letter for the contest? Okay, then go back and read the paragraph. Question 5, figure out what you're being asked to do first. What is the main purpose of this passage? What is the passage telling us? Okay, then go back and read it. I'm going to give you about 5 minutes, maybe 7. All right, 7 minutes. Here's the thing. I don't expect you to get every single one of them right, okay? Because when you go to take the ACAP, you're not going to get every single one of them correct.
How do you know that?
But what I do want you to do is to try your best, because you are capable of getting a percentage correct. So if you got at least 3 correct out of 5 on this, then I am going to go into the grade book and up it to a 100. Okay? So, listen, here's the thing. I hope you heard what I said. Okay? Because what I'm trying to make you understand is the importance of reading every question and specifically looking for the correct answer, whether that means going back into the passage or whatever, okay? Oh, give me a minute. It's 8. It is 8. It is 8. It is 8. It is 8. All right, hold on. I'm still on this right here. I'm still on this, okay? I want you to know that you are capable and that you can do it, okay? So if you got 3 or more correct, that means you only missed 2, then that's going to be a 100. Now, if you missed 3, or if you missed, I'll put it like this. If you made a 60, you made an 80. Okay, if you made a 40, you made a 60. Alright? Okay? Alright? So, what I hope you realize.
So I made an 80, so I made a 100.
What I hope you realize here is that you are being rewarded for your effort. Okay? You are being rewarded for your effort. All right, now what I need for you to do is go back. Now, we will review this tomorrow. All right, we're going to review this tomorrow, but you should be able to see what you missed already. Okay? Do you understand where you messed up? All right? Now, go back to third 9 weeks. Go back to week 1, go to January the 5th, and you're going to click on DGP 1522. All right, 1522. That's today's date. Now, what you're going to do for this sentence today is you are going to follow Tuesday's setup, okay? It's the sentence parts, including the subject, complete and simple, complete predicate, verb. You have to tell me if it's transitive or intransitive, if you have a direct object, okay? Now, I need for you to pay attention to me really well right now, okay? In this box right here, you are going to tell me if you underline the subject once or if you underline it twice. Okay, so you need to drag that line here. In this long box, you are going to tell me if you underline the complete predicate once or twice. If you underline it once, you drag the one line. If you underline it twice, you drag the double line. Okay? In this box, and this box, this box, and this box, you're putting a form of punctuation or a form of a symbol. Okay? A symbol, I guess you could say. And yes, there is a symbol. I'm sorry. Okay? All right? Now, who is this sentence about? Who is this sentence about? Me. Okay, that is the subject of your sentence. What did I do? All right, I said who or I said what? Table. So if I can answer who or what after my verb, that means that I have a direct. All right, I have a direct object. And if I have a direct object, then that means that my verb is transitive. Okay? Now, obviously, I know because on Monday I identified two prepositions that I'm going to have two prepositional phrases. Right? Okay. So in my prepositional phrases, I need to identify my object of the preposition. Now, you told me on yesterday's quiz or bell ringer that a direct object of the preposition will always be a noun or a pronoun in your sentence or in your prep phrase. Okay? So, what does house and Saturday function as on Tuesdays? Now, the next thing that you need to do is you need to identify your prepositional phrase as an adjective prep phrase or an adverbial prep phrase. Adverbs tell us when or where. Adjectives do what? They do what? They describe. They describe something. Now, is at the Andersons' house and on Saturday describing something, or is it telling when or where? It's telling when or where. Okay, so are these adjective prepositional phrases or are they adverbial prepositional phrases? A direct is part of the direct objects are you answer who or what after your verb. Objects of the preposition would be in a prepositional phrase. I just went over it. Object of the preposition. Under it. All right. I'm going to click on the next one. True or false? The subject of the sentence should be underlined twice. You are answering it independently. The predicate of the sentence should be underlined twice. True or false? You're going to review it and finish. Good. Shh. What you trying to do? And I'm like, I can't see you.
You sit and wait like the rest of the class.
All right. What I need now is if one person from each table is finished, I want you to go back to the back of the room and open up that bottom door on the bottom. Okay, you need to get a textbook for each person at your table. Only one person from each table. One person per table. This front table up here has 2 people because one of them's not paying attention.
Jordan.
No.
I don't know. I got the wrist, but this
I is the what?
first person. But
First
I don't know what it
person?
says.
But it's the subject. That's who the sentence is about.
See, Chicken, don't be helping out.
We have a transitive verb because we have a direct object. Okay, so BT, direct object, parentheses.
Okay, done.
Shh. Go get, for everybody else that doesn't have a book right now, go get a book out and put it on that table. On every table. All right, so when you finish, all right, what I need for you to do is on week 1, on Wednesday, January the 5th. Now, if you are absent at home or, not in class or whatever, and you don't have a textbook sitting in front of you, then what I have done is I have provided a copy of what we are going to read today. Okay? Learning about fiction and nonfiction, elements of fiction. So, if you were to be absent from school, there is no reason for you not to be able to do what we're doing because it is all provided for you right here in Schoology. Okay? Now, the next, all right, if it pops up and gives you a sad face, okay, then what you're going to have to do is click on the blue fiction and nonfiction copy of the textbook pages. Is it working like when y'all do that? I'm talking about for the textbook pages. For this right here. For fiction and nonfiction copy of the textbook. It says y'all need access. Okay. Okay, well.
Like, she knows, she knows, she knows. Put your hand up, Joy, she knows. Jordan, put your hand up. Jordan, stop.
All right, I just uploaded a link, so let's try that and see if it works. All right, I also just uploaded a link, so click on that and see if it will work. Okay, all right, good deal. So that is what we're gonna read. Now, your assignment that you are going to click on is going to be read pages 2 through 5 of Prentice Hall Literature, learning about fiction and nonfiction. Click on the assignment and follow the instructions. Okay, so when it comes up here, now yours is going to say probably like assignment in my document. You want to click on the word my document. You want to click on the word my document. All right, my document. And then when you click on my document, this is what should pull up. All right, if my document is not an option for you and it tells you to click on the document down below, then that is fine too. However it tells you to open it is what you need to do. Okay? Yes. All right, the first thing that I want you to do.
Get on him, Angel. Get on him.
Shh. The first thing that I need for you to do right now. The first thing that I need for you to do right now is go ahead and type your name into this document. Go ahead and type your name into this document. Okay?
He just logged me out this week.
Brian, go run open the door for Miss Susan, please.
You say Grandma Willis is here? Yes. It's almost class over.
I have too much communication going on right now. All right, too much, huh?
Me too.
All right, if it's asking you to request access, give me just a second and I'm about to make it happen. We're about to do fiction and nonfiction. But I'm recording. All right, if you have sent me a request for access, I have accepted that request. Okay, if you have sent me a request for access, I have accepted that request. Shh.
What do we put for class?
What class period are you in?
Fifth.
Okay, listen. What we're going to do the rest of the day is you are going to read this information and you are going to complete the handout that I have provided for you that you should have opened. Okay? Now, that means that you're going to use this class period to get this assignment done, and you are going to submit it before you leave today. No, you're going to use, you have a textbook in front of you. You're going to open it up to the pages that I told you to open it to. Pages 2 through 5. Okay? And you are going to follow through the book and fill out this sheet. Now, there are 3 questions down at the bottom that you are going to answer for Check Your Understanding that says indicate whether each literary work described is an example of fiction or nonfiction. I will say that the book you have might be a little bit different than the book I used, so we might have to alter some page numbers.
So all we
Okay?
have to do is just put the definition.
All you're doing is typing the definition right now. And you are submitting it before you leave here today.
All right. So definition.